let's look at some of the numbers here, because I think I'm interested in the kind of rapid ascent, and he dropped off. He went up to like nearly $2 at one point, or maybe he did get to $2 at one point, and then dropped off. You're back down on sort of like 136, 35, 36 at the moment. I mean, what do you put that down to?
Well, look, our stock has been the best performing royalty company in the entire royalty universe over the last 12 months by a wide margin. We're actually kind of happy to see this consolidation and the stock price pull back a little bit, allowing investors to get in. But the only thing that's really moved faster than our stock price has been the net asset value of the properties we've been able to acquire. So we, at a $200 million market cap, we are trading at about 1 times our net asset value. Our competitors are trading at over 2 times the net asset value. And yet, when you compare our royalty portfolio on a net asset value basis to the other companies, and you look at the quality of our portfolio, the quality of the mines that are already built and operating, and the operators that are producing at those mines, our portfolio, will literally put it up against anyone's.
Okay. Do you feel that you were well priced or overpriced at $2? Is that why it's come off, or do you think there's something more at play?
Well, look, like you said, in March we were at 60 cents. By May, we'd moved up to about 80 cents, and we did a private placement there where we brought in some new institutional shareholders and did a roadshow type of virtual roadshow anyway, pitching our story to these different institutional investors, and that really paid off. Before that financing closed, and we raised almost over $17 million from that offering. And before it closed, the stock had run up to $2. So, I mean, when you've just sold 10 million shares at 80 cents, and the stock moves to $2, you're going to see some profit taking in there. So, yeah, we're happy to see that stock being absorbed, some profit taking. We're happy to see our shareholders taking profits in the stock, and new shareholders coming in, or at this point, shareholders that sold at higher prices coming back into the stock. So it's a natural process, and we're not unlike the rest of the group and gold stocks in general that have been seeing a pullback as gold has pulled back. Keep in mind that when our stock ran up, gold also ran up to almost $2,100. It's since pulled back to $1,900, and it doesn't really even appear that gold's necessarily finished its correction in here. But we think gold prices go higher, and when gold prices turn again, we think our stock is now poised to follow along, just like I did in May and June.
Okay. I want to get onto some of the deals that you've been doing, because you've been doing some nice deals. But I want to stick with the numbers side of things for a bit. You're on the TSX-V, on the OTC, and you're in France as well, it looks like. What are the plans for the NYSE? Because you're starting to become of a size which is interesting to generalist funds in the US. But you need to meet certain criteria and certain thresholds in terms of market cap, in terms of share price, etc. So what are the levers that you're hoping to be able to pull there? And in fact, is the NYSE an option for you?
Well, in the growth of the company, certainly the NYSE is an option. It really expands the shareholder base, especially in the US, where we're starting to, seeing a lot of attention. And, of course, we are, for the most part, a Canadian company, and our primary listing is in Canada. Most of our assets are in the U.S. So with the TSX-V, we also graduated this year from the OTC QB to the OTC QX. So we're on the premier OTC exchange, and not really exchange, it's a listing. And and then, so as far as graduating to the NYSE, there's certain requirements that we'll have to meet, and we're working on those now. The first is, we have to file our annual information form and then a prospectus, which will allow us to do prospectus offerings and open us up to the possibility of an exchange listing. Now, at our current price, that would require a reverse of the stock, something that would require shareholder approval. So we think that is in the cards for us probably next year. We could possibly do it without the reverse split if the stock price were to increase. But it's some of our competitors have done this, and we think it's a natural evolution. But we are also a slow and steady kind of company. We're more conservative in the way we invest our money in the royalties that we invest in, and the prices we're willing to pay for royalties. And I think that carries over to our listing and moving to bigger exchanges. It will come, but we're not in a big hurry here today.